Very good evening to everyone. I hope all of you have had a wonderful Parakram Divas, and all of you probably also saw some of the interesting things that happened today evening, including, and I think this is my personal favorite, the unveiling of the hologram statue of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. Of course, today we are celebrating the 125th birth anniversary of the icon, the legend that is Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. And I think just last year, when I was in Kolkata, I just finished my wedding. Let me start with something interesting. So I got married last year, February 14th, right, on Valentine Day of all things. Not by my own choice, but because my parents also, और ये सब कुंडली और ये सब में निकला कि ठीक है ये एक शुभ दिन है. तो शादी हुई, and after a few days of spending time at home and so on, we were coming back to Lucknow, me and my lovely wife Jigyasa. तो via Kolkata हम लोग आ रहे थे, and she wanted to see the Victoria Memorial in 2021, हाँ, last year. तो विक्टोरिया मेमोरियल जब देखने गए, and I had seen the Victoria Memorial quite a bit, I mean, a lot of times earlier also, but to my absolute delight and a lot of nostalgia and a lot of emotional, overwhelming things that I saw, the whole Victoria Memorial had been converted into what pretty much looked like a Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose memorial kind of a thing. तो मैं तो बाहर आते आते फाइनली तब तक रो ही चुका था, और वही 125th बर्थडे का पूरा ईयर हम लोग सेलिब्रेट कर रहे थे. तो मतलब गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया वाज सेलिब्रेटिंग एंड सो ऑन, सो इसलिए वो एक हुआ था. एंड टुडे ऑफ कोर्स आई सॉ द अनवेलिंग ऑफ द हॉलोग्राम स्टैचू. हाय अनुराग, हाउ आर यू? वेरी गुड इवनिंग. So anyway, वो तो मेरे पर्सनल लाइफ की बात हुई, and as you can imagine, therefore I am deeply emotional about Netaji, and I am deeply motivated. Not that I am even remotely doing what Netaji would have probably wanted from me as a young Indian, and so on. And I don't know, sometimes I try, sometimes I fail, sometimes I try again, and sometimes I think I succeed also in trying to live up to his expectations. Never fully, never completely, but हम सब मिलके कोशिश I think जारी रखेंगे, right? So just a few things and some important announcements that were made today evening, as well as I was sure कि होगा. तो वो सारे हमारे CLAT एग्जाम के लिए भी कई सारी चीजें important हैं, including an award that was declared, the first prime minister वाला जो पूरा controversy है, वहाँ पर उससे पहले किंग जॉर्ज 5 का स्टैचू हुआ करता था, जो हम कोरोनेशन पार्क दिल्ली में बेसिकली शिफ्ट कर चुके हैं. तो अब वहाँ पर स्टैचू बनेगा, ग्रेनाइट से बनेगा, क्या क्या होगा. सो जस्ट अ फ्यू थिंग्स दैट वी विल बी डिस्कसिंग. एंड सेशन शुरू होने के बाद हर स्लाइड में आई पुट सम इंटरेस्टिंग कोट्स ऑफ नेताजी एज वेल. So I hope all of you are looking forward to a good time, guys. My name is Debajyoti Das, and I'm an alumni of HNLU. I'm also someone who secured an All India rank 20 in the NLSIU Bangalore entrance. I'm also a Microsoft Intellectual Property Research Scholar, and I've been a capital market lawyer at one of the topmost law firms in India, that is Amarchan and Mangal Das. You can also join me on Telegram, and I'm sure a lot of you are already on my Telegram group. जो लोग नहीं हैं, please do feel free to join me. Most of you are aware of the unique features of the Unacademy Plus and Iconic platforms, and Iconic platform अभी recently ही CLAT में भी introduce किया गया है, जिसमें बहुत सारी चीजें थोड़ी अलग होंगी. But एक चीज जो अलग नहीं होगी is, if you have been having fun in my sessions, you can continue to use the code DEB10 to get your additional 10% discount, both for the Plus admissions as well as for the Iconic admissions. क्या unique features है? One-on-one live mentorship, right? We will have some special sessions individually if you take up the Iconic program. Live doubt solving भी होगा. Individual जो sessions होंगे, we have divided it into number of months जो आपके subscription के हैं. तो अगर 3 months का है तो then multiplied by 6 basically, right? So you'll have 18 sessions. 6 months का है तो 36 sessions, and so on. So 6 sessions every month is basically what's going to happen. And these individual sessions are going to be taken by Anmol Gupta, who's all India rank 3 in NLS Bangalore currently, and also Anshul Vats, who's also from NLS Bangalore, and he had secured an all India rank 24. So I hope आप लोग समझ सकते हैं कि थोड़ा थोड़ा बहुत सारे बेनिफिट्स, छोटा छोटा सोचेंगे लेकिन बेनिफिट्स एक्चुअली बहुत सारे हैं. रिपब्लिक डे इज ऑल्सो जस्ट अ कपल ऑफ डेज फ्रॉम टुडे. Republic Day is also just a couple of days from today, and we have special constitutional law marathon quizzes, sessions, as well as some interesting prizes for all of you. Republic Day के अगले दिन हमारा master law batch शुरू हो रहा है for the batch of 2022, and on the 28th of January we're starting off with the Excel law batch for 2023. The ULAT as well as the weekly T20 tests हर alternate Saturday and हफ्ते भर आपके weekdays पे ये तो कार्यक्रम चलता ही रहेगा. And of course the live quiz feature continues to be active for all students, where you can host your quizzes as well as participate in the educator curated quizzes as well. Having said that, I am absolutely thrilled that Netaji's statue will be put under the canopy. Well, as it turns out, he was the first Prime Minister of the Azad Hind government that had been set up in Singapore. It was a government that was in control of part of India, part of Manipur in fact, and Andaman and Nicobar Islands. He had an army, he issued his currency, he was a leader of a legitimate government recognized by a large number of countries of the Axis Alliance and Ireland. It is, and yahin se controversy ek shuru ho gaya, जब संजीव सान्याल जी, who is a historian as well and a principal and the current principal economic advisor to the government of India, is a Rhodes Scholar. He's from St. Stephen's, then Oxford, of course, for his Rhodes Scholarship. He said it is fair to say that he was the first Prime Minister of India. And जैसा कि आप लोग सब सोच सकते हैं, जैसा कि आप लोग सब guess कर सकते हैं, this led to a lot of reactions across the platforms, across political parties, and so on. And I have put up a screenshot of his Facebook post जहाँ उन्होंने पहली बार में ये डाला था. I'm of course privileged enough to have him as such an educated person, controversy aside, but an exceptionally educated person as well, on my friend list in Facebook. Long time ago when I was at Amarchand and my specialization was capital markets, that time Sanjeev sir used to be the global Asia Pacific strategic head for Deutsche Bank, right? And of course subsequently he joined the government and became the principal economic advisor. So history में उनका interest उस time भी काफी deep था. He had already written a couple of books on history. In one of the books that I definitely enjoyed reading, again you can disagree or whatever, but you should always read all the sides of and all the perspectives, nahin? So one of the books is The History of India's Geography, India the Land of Seven Rivers करके एक बहुत interesting book है. I'm sure some of you will enjoy reading it. Okay. तो as promised guys, session शुरू हो चुका है, हमारे discussion शुरू हो चुके हैं. तो as promised, हर slide में हम कुछ ना कुछ एक interesting quote from Netaji भी देखेंगे. One of my favorite quotes by Netaji is definitely the philosophical idea of freedom, right? Whether it is Lal Bal Pal mein Bal Gangadhar Tilak had also said freedom and Swaraj is my birthright, right? And usi theme pe Netaji ne bhi kaha tha, freedom is not given, right? So we can't negotiate or etc. And freedom is not given, it is taken, right? अब इस कोट को मद्देनजर रखते हुए let's look at what has recently happened. Just a few days ago there was a major announcement that Prime Minister Narendra Modi basically said that there is a massive statue, right? There is a massive statue of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, right? That will be unveiled, that will be put on at the place जहां पर पहले King George V का एक statue हुआ करता था, right? There used to be a statue of King George V. Of course that statue has already been moved, और काफी पहले ही उस statue को already move किया जा चुका था. And in furtherance of that statue being moved, अब वो काफी empty type का एक space था. तो उस space में हम सुभाष चंद्र बोस जी का एक statue प्लेस करेंगे, राइट. मैसिव स्टैच्यू ऑफ द आइकॉनिक फ्रीडम फाइटर नेताजी सुभाष चंद्र बोस विल बी इंस्टॉल्ड एट इंडिया गेट in the national capital as a symbol of India's indebtedness to the great leader. Till the granite statue is completed, a hologram statue of his would be present at the same place, PM Modi said, adding that he will unveil the hologram statue on Sunday, January 23rd, the 125th birth anniversary of the Azad Hind Fauj founder. Now that unveiling जो है, क्योंकि हम लोग थोड़ा लेट नाइट का ये सेशन कर रहे हैं, I am happy to inform all of you, and like I said, I think some of you must have seen the videos that are coming in the live telecast that happened. That statue has already been unveiled by the Honorable Prime Minister. Now, in terms of the other announcements that were made, राइट, एक बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट अनाउंसमेंट इसके साथ साथ हुआ है. ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट अनाउंसमेंट जो है, दिस इज इन द कॉन्टेक्स्ट ऑफ योर क्लैट एग्जामिनेशन. सो पेन पेपर सब लोग निकाल लीजिए. गवर्नमेंट हैज इंस्टीट्यूटेड द एनुअल सुभाष चंद्र बोस आपदा प्रबंधन पुरस्कार, राइट. द आपदा प्रबंधन पुरस्कार. आपदा is basically disaster and danger and so on. Prabandhan is management award. Okay, so basically this is a disaster management award. People who have contributed and particularly अगर हम current times के हिसाब से देखें, right, इस टाइम पर हमारे जिस टाइप के संघर्ष चल रहे हैं, COVID has been, we have, as far as the law is concerned also, right, since we are ultimately law students and law aspirants, right. So one thing has to be pointed out, that during the COVID pandemic, we did have, for example, the Disaster Management Act that was used. We had the Epidemic Diseases Act that was also used for the purpose of imposition of the lockdown, for the purpose of punishment, for the empowerment of officials and so on. So disaster, India is not really completely unaware of, or it's not like our nation has not seen disaster. We've seen a lot of these things, right. Mere home state mein, I'm from Odisha, proud to be neighbors of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. And by the way, for those of you who don't know, a quick question hai aap sabke liye. Does anybody know where was Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose born? I know आप लोग सब जानते हैं कि he's from West Bengal, but do you know where Netaji was born, where he did his even early schooling और ये सब कुछ भी? नेताजी का कहाँ पर हुआ था पता है? काफी प्राइड के साथ I would be privileged to inform you. It's actually in Odisha. He was born in Cuttack and did a lot of his schooling also in my proud state. So, but anyway, of course, Netaji does not belong to any one particular state. No doubt that Netaji is a national icon and so on. But फिर भी छोटी-छोटी खुशियां है ना, छोटी-छोटी खुशियां. So disaster management, coming back to what I was trying to explain, ultimately disaster management, मेरे home state में भी cyclone आता रहता है, super cyclone, कभी flood, कभी ये, बिहार में floods आते हैं, उत्तराखंड में floods, there's earthquake in Bhuj. There's a lot of these things, right? There's a lot of these things that keep happening. So Apda Prabandhan Puraskar is the disaster management award to recognize and honor the invaluable contribution and selfless service rendered by individuals and organizations in India in the field of disaster management, right? So ye ek award aaj hi, today evening, so you guys are probably the first ones, unless आपने directly news देखा हो या मोदी जी का live telecast. एक तो शाम को मोदी जी का लाइव टेलीकास्ट सुनने में थोड़ा सा पता नहीं कौन कब क्या हो जाए, राइट. But if you listen to the speech today, then you probably already know it. Otherwise, here at Unacademy, we are definitely the first ones to bring you an update on this particular award. As most of you know, right, I would like to conclude with, because again, I mean, the life history of Netaji is a little too much to try to cover in one session or two sessions or even a dozen sessions, I think, at the end of the day. But I do want to wrap up this small discussion about this particular update by speaking about, obviously there's a lot of controversy, जैसा कि आप सबने भी सुना होगा, about the death investigation, right? Subhash Chandra Bose ji died on 18th August 1945 from third degree burns sustained after the overloaded bomber in which he was being transported by the Japanese crashed in Taihoku, now Taipei, in Japanese Taiwan, right? But of course, there has been a lot of controversy. People believe he was alive for a long, long time. There is the whole Gumnami Baba angle, that Gumnami Baba khud Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose he the, who ultimately died in Faizabad, erstwhile Faizabad, now Ayodhya. And Guptar Ghat is where a lot of his final formalities, etc., were completed. So there is that whole angle. Anuj Dhar and others have published widely and extensively, right? India's biggest cover up and all of these famous books that have been published. We've had 4 important committees and commissions, right? First is the FIGS report in 1946, which came out. Then independent India में भी हमारे 3 commission, right? 3 independent commission बने हैं जो बहुत important. And the last and final commission that was formed is the Mukherjee Commission, right? So Shahnawaz Commission is 1956, the Khosla Commission in 1970, and the last commission जिसका report आया था is the Mukherjee Commission, which came out with its report, and this happened in 2005. And before, sorry मैं थोड़ा सा यहाँ पर मिस कर गया हूँ, एक और quote यहाँ पर, no real change in history has ever been achieved by discussions. Another very, very famous statement by Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, and this one also, one individual, and this is where I would probably want to conclude, one individual may die for an idea. One individual may die for an idea. For example, Netaji, of course, whenever the great soul passed away, he died for the idea of free India and independent India and so on. But that idea will, after his death, incarnate itself in 1,000 lives. And I would probably want to conclude by saying, I hope, with all the sincerity that I can muster in my life, I hope that I am just one of those flickering lights and one of those flickering human beings जिन्होंने उनके आइडिया का एक इनकारनेट बनने की कम से कम आशा तो है ही है. Whether I can or cannot become ultimately anything which he wanted all young Indians to become, of course, remains to be seen. Right? So that's that, guys. Some of the important things जो आप सबको लिखना था: FIGS report, शाहनवाज कमीशन, खोसला कमीशन, मुखर्जी कमीशन, and of course जैसा कि मैंने बताया आप लोगों को, the नेताजी सुभाष चंद्र बोस आपदा पुरस्कार, right? आपदा प्रबंधन पुरस्कार has also been announced. The hologram statue has already been unveiled today evening, and उससे पहले वहां पर King George V का statue हुआ करता था. Now that is an empty space. कल ही हमने वो, आज सुबह भी हमने वो सब भी किया कि transportation and the merging of the flames. Those of you who have not seen, वो भी एक बहुत important session था. Today at 12 p.m. Today at 12 p.m. I had the same session on YouTube. Same in the sense, वो session में नेताजी के पे focus नहीं था. उस session में it was about the merging of the Amar Jawan Jyoti, right? जो 4 चक्र हैं National War Memorial में, and all those things. That's what I discussed in the 12 p.m. आज के afternoon वाले session में. अगर आपने miss किया है, उसमें भी बहुत सारे important information provided हैं, which all of you should definitely make sure to watch. CLAT के लिए particularly बहुत important है this year. Not just the Netaji statue, but also the merging of the Amar Jawan Jyoti flame and the eternal flame in the National War Memorial जो 2019 में ही बना था. So current government का भी उसमें बहुत सारा interest है कि a commemoration of all the war victims होना चाहिए, and so on. So because of the major events that has happened, right? Amar Jawan Jyoti India Gate से हट गया है अगर, तो enough of a big news, right? So anyway, I hope all of you also ultimately are also ultimately an incarnate of, in terms of one of the 1,000 lives that the idea of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose will ultimately remain. And with that, thank you very, very much, everyone. I'll see you guys tomorrow afternoon at 12 p.m. once again. We have few more of these kind of interesting sessions and the angle of the CLAT examination. Tomorrow's session is also very, very important because it will be a summary of some important cases of January 2022. Right? So January में क्या important cases हुए हैं? कल important cases. Let me just write it out for you. Important cases of January 2022. Right? So this will be tomorrow at 12 p.m. 12 p.m. tomorrow. Same place here, right here on the Unacademy channel. That is the legal game. Have a lovely evening, everyone. Happy Parakram Divas to all of you. Hi, Manu. Thank you very much. Most welcome, Manu. Most welcome, Anurag. Have a lovely evening, guys. Good night. Good night, everyone.